want me to go about like that. It was not an easy life for her, I'm sure. You either have backbone or you don't. My legs just don't work anymore. You think about it every day for a long, 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 long time. I said, I'll take the smack. You also have to love what you do. Definitely not love at first sight. Oh, look at her, you know. And we've never forgiven them for it. So teach your children to work. And I think I'm pretty proud of that. I was named after my maternal grandmother, whose name was Christine, and my mother decided just to shorten it to Chris. I was born in Copenhagen on May the 27th, 1941, the second year of the occupation of the Germans. Well, the Danes didn't suffer too badly from the occupation, but badly enough. They managed, my parents managed, to make it through the war. Just had to obey the rules. And I remember that we had rations. You could have X amount of meat, you could have X amount of whatever, and you could also have little chocolate bar. That was allowed. And I remember my uncles gave me their chocolate bar. I was very happy about that. Even more precious was chewing gum as I got older, but there was none to be had. The American soldiers had chewing gum and cigarettes, but the Germans were there and we didn't have chewing gum. It was just because we couldn't have it and saw it, we thought that would be the thing to have. So we picked up some tar from the road and chewed on that. Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't have any kind of peppermint flavor or anything, but you know, that's what kids did. We spat out a really bad taste and continued with the rest. My grandparents had 14 children. Because my grandfather came from Poland, he was Catholic, which is probably why they had so many children. But Denmark is really Protestant. It's 98% Protestant. As my grandmother kept producing more children, she would send the older girls down to register them. And they would say, we're not going there, we're too embarrassed because this is, well, of course they did. Nobody else had 14. They may have had 6, but 14, no. She was worn out, I'm sure. But she had help from the girls. The girls all pitched in and helped, and the boys brought wood to the wooden stove that she cooked on. It was not an electric stove. My poor grandmother must have stirred I don't know how many pots, and oh, it was not an easy life for her, I'm sure. I guess you could say I was very self-confident and a bit mischievous. In school, I was sometimes a little bit too yappy. I got called up, what would you like to stay after school or get a smack? I said, I'll take the smack so I can get out of here. I always had a job. I was either babysitting kids, picking them up from nursery school and bringing them home, or I worked in a little shop being a delivery girl. I was a very happy kid. And having so much family, you know, you just feel like you go here, you go there, and everybody is familiar with you, and oh, look how you've grown, and so, yeah. My brother was 17 at the time, I would think, about, yeah, 17. He was going to high school, and one night he had been at a school fun something, and he came home. He had taken driving lessons, but he didn't have his license. But he came home late, took the car keys, and got into the car with a couple of young guys, and went to the state line where they were serving liquor across the state line. On the way back home, they missed a turn. It was winter, it was January. They missed a turn, and there were no airbags in those days, and he was killed on the spot. And the other two boys were injured, but he was killed on the spot. He was 17 years old. My parents were devastated. They took my mother. She went into a severe depression after that for a year or two, maybe a bit more. You never forget that as a parent, for sure. And It was hard for my sister too, and myself, of course. You know, you think about it every day for a long, 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 long time.